Hey, Steph, did you ever have a Razor scooter when you were growing up?
Of course.
So I personally didn't own one, but I rode many. Anytime there was one within reach, you got to hop on, give it a little ride about when you're a kid. Did you ever fall off your Razor scooter?
Of course, head over heels.
Yeah, it doesn't take much, right? Like, it's like a skateboard. You hit a rock or something and you're going down. It's not like a bike that has shock absorbers so that, when you hit the ground, you don't feel as much. It's like a car does. The wheels are moving independently from the frame.
Yeah.
Whereas a scooter, the shock absorbers are your legs. So I don't know why in the world anyone would think that you can do this with one.
Oh my God.
See, that's exactly like as soon as I saw him up there, I'm like, you're not going to try and do that, are you? So for those that are just listening, this clip opens on what I can only describe as like the canteen beside a splash pad. Like that's just what it looks like. It's a 1-story, smallish little park type building. And there's a guy on a Razor scooter and he jumps off the roof of it and obviously face plants because there's no way, like it's just your weight and gravity hitting the ground, man. Like those wheels are the size of your fist. Like, what are you thinking?
I felt my ankles pop, my elbows pop, everything pop out of place after watching that video. Oh my God.
Oh, he's totally okay though. He's probably just missing some teeth or something. Broken nose. I don't know.
Why do you got to do this to me in the start of every episode?
Because it's fun and I like it. So welcome back to Leafs Late Night. So it's just Steph and I tonight, and it's been a fun little back-to-back for the Leafs. So we'll get into that. But first, while we're talking about face plants, the Calgary Flames playoff hopes died on the stick of none other than Nick Ritchie, our favorite ex-Leaf. There's been a lot of talk around this. I listened to Friedage and Merrick talk about this to all the ends. What do you think about picking Nick Ritchie over, some others on the team? Huberdeau, I believe Kadri still hadn't gone. Anderson, who was, I think had 5, shootout goals on the year, which is crazy that they've been to enough shootouts that Rasmus Anderson has 5 shootout goals.
Right. I think they put, wasn't it Huberdeau and Kadri first? Because we were talking about this in our Discord. And it was, Flames. Huberdeau and Naz went first and second. Okay. Then it was Ritchie ahead of Toffoli and Mangiapane.
That's who it is. Okay. Thank you.
Toffoli leading the Flames this year with 34 goals. Next in line.
Which we talked about.
Yeah. And 24 goals for Naz and Kadri. Okay.
The bread man, though, like he's a goal scorer. I mean, sure, he's having an off year, but like his shooting percentage is always crazy. I don't get it.
Nick Ritchie, the guy that didn't score for the Leafs until we were physically present at the Scotiabank Arena in end of November? December, was it?
Yeah, it was December.
December of 2021. And we couldn't believe it to the point where we had this ultimate bet. Like, if this doesn't happen before Nick Ritchie scores a goal, or when Nick Ritchie scores a goal, I'm going to dye my hair blue. Like, no.
Speaking of bets, do you have that Vege-might handy or... Nice. Sweet. I love it.
In hand.
Amazing. But the thought process was apparently that Nick Ritchie had scored on UC Saros already this season. I don't know if it was that night. I wasn't paying too much attention to that game.
One time in his dreams.
So I guess he'd scored. So Sutter was like, he knows how to beat him. It's like, okay, that's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
I have to agree with what Elliot Friedman said, which is that if you're in a position like this, your season has to live or die on your stars stick, right? Like it's got to go top down. Like when you're in a position like that, where the entire season is on the line, like that's what you have star players for, is for situations like that, is where they can put everything behind them and put the team on their back. It's silly that it comes down to a shootout for them because it's, one of the most hated things for the reason that it can't be an all deciding factor, which it became for the Flames, unfortunately, because Saros is a god tier goalie.
Right.
I don't like the coaching decision. I feel like Sutter's kind of starting to lose them already, and that was not a good move in the players' eyes. Like, I feel like they're going to blame him for, as much as they should blame themselves for losing like 16 games in overtime this year. But it's, going to be a lot of tossing around with the blame.
Yeah, Markstrom doing whatever the hell he's doing behind the net, trying to handle the puck and losing it constantly this year. And
yeah, he's had a bad year.
Oh, man, after coming off a Vezina caliber season and killing everyone in fantasy, and then, taking that chance this year and killing me in fantasy. And, oh, man, what a disappointment the Flames have been this year. And It's not even close. Like, just a total disappointment.
Yeah, it is. But let's get to some Leaf stuff and some Vege-might stuff. So we're going to play the intro when we come back. Steph's gonna eat some fun stuff.
Hi, this is Mike Ross, public address announcer for your Toronto Maple Leafs, and this is the Leafs Late Night Podcast, your post-game destination. And now, your starting lineup: Roscoe, the Fanalist, Southey, Wiener, and Darty Brodeur on the Leafs Late Night Podcast.
Yeah. Welcome back to Leafs Late Night, where it's never too late for the Leafs, presented by Inside the Rink. I'm your host, Roscoe, joined by Steph, the Fanalist. And today is actually going to be the last one I'll be recording from this room for about a month and a half, as tomorrow morning, in 10 hours, I'm shipping out to Newfoundland for 6 weeks. So
my homelands.
It's the land of Steph's people. I love it. Gonna get screeched in. It's gonna be fun. So yeah, I'm gonna be watching the playoffs an hour and a half in the future. That'll be interesting.
Are you guys staying in St. John's?
Yeah, I'll be staying with work friends in St. John's.
Well, you better go down George Street and kiss some cod there, get screeched in, and have yourself a time, as they say.
They're going to do the whole thing, and I got to learn some lingo. And yeah, I'll post some stuff. I'll take some cool footage out there.
Like the Leafs did.
Yeah. Also, the Growlers playoffs start this weekend, so I'm going to try to go to the game on Saturday.
Nice.
$15.
Oh, my God. Wow.
Yeah.
It's less than a beer?
Yeah, probably. That's actually, when I went to the game at the Slush Puppy Center, I was surprised that the drinks were so expensive because the seats were not. It was like $20 or $25 there, and I think the drinks were still like, $12 or $14. I'm like, holy
for
shit.
A Slush Puppy?
Not for a Slush Puppy, for like alcoholic things.
Nice.
The Slush Puppy there, oh, so good. So good.
Red or blue?
We got a red one.
Mm-hmm.
I would have gotten blue, but
I actually don't care. I just want to see what you would say.
Either one is flavored sugar water. It's fine.
Yes, exactly.
Actually, before we talk about hockey for a second, just to lead into you eating something gross.
Why?
I was at the mall.
Yeah.
And there's this there used to be, those Cake Boss vending machine things?
We still have them here in Oshawa.
Nice. So we had one for a while, but it was magically switched out about, 2-3 weeks ago. Now there's a cotton candy machine.
Oh.
So it's like this, pink frilly, and, I don't know how to explain it. If you've never seen one of these Cake Boss things, it's like, it's built into the wall of the mall as like a walk-up little kiosk thing. Like there's nobody manning it. It's just a robot thing. So there's this window that you look through and you pick from a bunch of these different cool like characters and shapes and stuff. And you watch it basically like 3D print you a character out of cotton candy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fancy.
So it spins a bunch of it and packs together into shapes and makes things. And then it's like, here you go. You get your thing. And it's like, okay.
Did you get one?
I wanted to on the weekend and I didn't. So I'm going to go when I get back. It's been like yucky weather. So it's not really like cotton candy.
Yeah,
time,
probably melt in the rain, right? Just like the cotton candy.
Get out of here. The weather's actually been pretty nice. It's been windy, but nice and it says it's 20, but feels like 12, which is still better than it was 2 weeks ago. I'll take it.
Very true. Very true. Yeah, the sun is it is fooling us lately here. It looks like it's hot, 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 and we go outside and freeze our ass off.
Do you still have snow on the ground there?
No. Do you?
Only in places that are like shady. There's still some, because we got so much. Like, it was like record-breaking snowfalls in Ottawa this winter. So some of the, along the sides of houses and behind sheds and piles underneath trees and stuff are still there, but everything else is gone.
I was very close to putting on shorts today, but nice. I decided against it because it was windy as hell. And yeah, it was 21 degrees. And man, 15, I'm in. I'll put the shorts on. But just decided against it. And it was a good decision. So.
Well, you know what? Soak it in, because in Southern Ontario here, it's going to be nice all through the next couple of days. Meanwhile, I'm going out to Newfoundland where it's like 4 degrees and raining for the next month, which I'm not thrilled about. I did not know the weather was worse out there. I thought it was going to be like, oh, it's nice. It's like Vancouver. No, it's windy and rainy.
Foggy.
And cold.
Yeah, definitely bring your winter coat, because you'll probably experience all 4 seasons in one day. Morning time, you'll freeze your ass off. At noon, you'll want to strip and then dress up again as the time goes on.
Oh, my Lord. It's one of those. Okay.
It's not like Florida and the Leafs being on this road trip for the last time in this regular season, enjoying the hot sun and everyone kind of scrambling with these roster changes and call-ups and people not knowing who's allowed to play.
Yeah, so this goalie situation. So Bean and I touched on it. It was going to be complicated cap-wise because Yarncroke and Murray were both on IR. And there was no room to sign Knies, but Freach said, they're going to do it. I just don't really know how they're going to make it work. And then, of course, we hear the news that Knies has signed, which is its own big thing, because that was apparently a interesting negotiation. But we end up signing Knies, and the complication comes from we cannot call up Joseph Wall, because the league went, no, you're not abusing this amateur tryout bullshit to circumvent the cap here, so you can't call him up. So have fun signing somebody today.
Yeah, and it's kind of bullshit, and I see the outrage because the night before, the Boston Bruins called up 6 veterans that are, they haven't played in a long time, just to rest their players, which isn't an emergency, by the way. No one was injured. It was just a rest day for them. And then the next day, we see something like this, which I see their point, but if they're going to be this strict about everything, enforce it across the league.
Yeah, the rules are dumb. They enforce them properly here, but I'm not saying they did anything wrong. It's just stupid, which is I think everybody's feeling on this. It's just the whole point of the cap is parity, and if the result of that is that a team can't put in an NHL caliber goalie to play, what are we doing here?
Yeah. Exactly. And I guess the only thing they're doing as a favor is making some kids' dreams come true, right? No one would ever think Nick Chenard from the Owen Sound Attack would be up to back up Samsonov on the bench. This kid has a 14-16-2 record this year and an .873 save percentage. So I don't think his name's going to be anywhere near the NHL in a little while, maybe soon. But nice to see it.
When I saw his name, I looked him up and I was like, oh, cool. Oh, okay. I hope we're not putting him in. I mean, no offense, but it's not like he's a, standout goalie for the Owen Sound Attack. So not carrying them to a playoff berth or anything. Hence why the Leafs were able to just swipe him up for the game.
You know what the funny part about this all? While this was happening, the NHL's Twitter banner happens to be a photo of the Boston Bruins. So my tinfoil hat is just growing, thinking damn, they let them get away with X, Y, and Z literally the other day. And then you see Mark Stone magically appear out of the abyss, and he's completely healthy after a horrible injury this year. And bam! It's Boston Bruins banner right in our faces. Okay, then.
Yeah, like I said, it's enforced arbitrarily, and what I've gathered happens is teams will do things a couple times, and then there's this meeting, and they go, "Oh, we gotta start to crack down on this." And what that means is we don't really have a rule that applies here, but we can make other rules enforceable in this situation. So they're trying to wedge a square peg into a round hole in trying to punish these teams for different things. So sometimes they can make it work and sometimes they can't. What this all says to me is your rule book sucks. Yeah. You need to go back to the drawing board and figure out how you're going to manage this salary cap in whatever way you want to have it, because it's not going away, but implement something that makes sense rule wise, because this is stupid.
Yeah, I know. It's just like you said earlier too in another episode, how many roster spots have the Leafs taken up? Well, players, that have rotated this year into our lineup, and it's not always in our favor. I mean, we've had a ton of injuries this year. It's not like we've been sitting many guys recently. It's only happened in the last couple of games, right? Tonight, Matthews and Marner sits. Marner sat 2 games ago, I believe, and he didn't want to do that. It was just for the purpose of leading time on ice among all forwards in the NHL. Like, the kid needs a break, but...
Yeah, we're up to 48 now with the backup tonight. So just checked the stats here. 33 players, including goalies, have played at least 10 games for the Leafs this year.
Wow.
That's wild. That's like what most teams have dressed that are pushing a lot of people this year. And that's over 10 games. There's still another, 16 people after that. 15.
Yeah, it's crazy. And injuries happen all the time. I mean, even right before the Florida game during practice, Lafferty goes down, and the Leafs weren't even planning on putting in Matthew Knies against Florida, actually. It just kind of worked that way in their favor, and having that person available and being able to fly out to Florida. But even during warm-up too, Gustafsson gets injured. I know you missed this part, but Shin comes in and gets notified while he's sitting on the bus with all of the extras.
Oh my
starts
Lord.
Stretching at 6:50 p.m. when he got the text. He first said that he thought Keith butt dialed him.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah, he thought it was a joke. So anything could happen. Literally, we're going to be seeing random names because it's been confirmed today that Samsonov will no longer play in the regular season. This Florida game, he suffered some bumps and bruises, and man, Twitter was wild saying, put the fucking janitor in. Like, who cares at this point, honestly? Put the backup in. Make his day, because we can't have both Murray and Sammy down right now.
So here's the thing, and I know if you've listened to other shows, 32 Thoughts specifically, you've probably heard this, but what it comes down to, unfortunately, is the Panthers are in an important race, and the implications of the Leafs basically letting them win by throwing in a backup and saying we don't care. You would probably get calls from the Islanders in Pittsburgh saying, like, what the fuck? This is not okay. Like, you can't just hand them 2 points because you don't want, because you're resting your starting goalie, which I get, but at the same time, Boston is resting players like crazy. Other teams are benching guys. Like, what's the difference? If it's I get it. The goalie is a little more important than, one player that's having a couple shifts versus a guy who's on for the whole game. But yeah, that's kind of the gist of it.
What's the difference when you have your whole core resting and you have guys who've never been drafted to the NHL playing for the first time and taking up majority of your roster? And it goes both ways, in my opinion, right? Like, it's not the team's fault that other teams had to go down to the wire in the regular season for their playoff lives. Exactly.
It's like, as much as people can talk about, like we did, Sutter's decision to put Ritchie in that shootout, if your entire playoff depends on a shootout, you've put yourself in that situation. Like I said, they lost I think it was 16 games in overtime or 17. It's those kinds of things throughout the year. I think Sutter even said in his interview, they didn't have enough consecutive streaks of wins this year. And you can't put that all on one game, like game 79, 80, or 81 of the season. Like that's kind of silly.
Yeah, exactly. Florida may be fighting for their playoff lives, which they did clinch tonight, but they have this rookie goalie prodigy here, Alex Lyon, who started his 6-game win streak with Toronto at the time. And
such an NHL name.
I was just wondering, like, wouldn't it be nice if we can solve the Lion King?
The Lion King.
He's been on, and it actually went so well because Brian Beliefs drew his cartoon that night, comic with a character hanging from the cliff, like from the scene of the Lion King, and who was it, the goalie not letting him go. Anyways, you got to go back and look at it. It was perfect. But
that's funny. Doodling Daryl, who does the Sens ones, the same kind of thing that Brian does, he did one that was, what's his name, Sparty the lion.
Okay,
that's the Sens mascot, and it's like him like gripping to the rock, like the cliff thing, and it says playoffs like along the top of it.
That's what Brian Beliefs did, or similar. I don't know. They're both really good. So
yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's
out.
Eerily similar. Not saying anybody ripped anybody off. I'm just stating a similarity in art.
Another thing about this Florida game, which was surprising, with considering 2 even strength goals and then 1 goal decided in overtime. Leafs only had 1 power play opportunity. Florida had 2, 6 total penalty minutes. This game just flew by, in my opinion. Barely any whistles. Like, I don't know. It was like a battle of the goaltenders. Florida had 46 shots on net. Toronto with 25. You got to give it to Sammy because this guy was peppered. It was the Sammy show at the end of the day. Leafs could have covered way better, but honestly, it was such a tight game and way to take it in OT. Oh, this goal. Beautiful.
Yeah, it was beautiful. But just to go back to like how the game went, I mean, obviously Florida's in a position where they're fighting for their lives and the Leafs are in the exact opposites. They're taking the night off. So, I mean, I'm glad that they were able to not completely take their foot off the gas and stay engaged because they are about to head into the playoffs. Like the last thing you want to see is them just coast through these last few games and not necessarily lose them, but not look great. But I think they've managed to look conservative while still playing a solid game, if that makes sense. Like they're not putting themselves in high danger situations to get hurt or, overexerting themselves while still managing to control a lot of the game.
100%. Huge difference from the Florida game and Tampa game tonight, where you're honestly right. The Leafs were looking out for themselves. There were another win at the end of the day too, right? Staying healthy, even though Sammy is a little bruised right now. But honestly, sit. We don't need you to play. But tonight against Tampa, oh my God, it felt like neither team could take a full power play because they were overlapping one another. The penalty minutes were at, 62 penalty minutes on the night compared to 6 in Florida. Oh my God, it was just what we predicted, kind of. Tampa's been fighting their way through the last couple months of the regular season. Not that great of a stats either. I think I saw since trade deadline they're like 13, 14, and 2.
Yeah, they're not good since the deadline. But Justin and I on the last episode talked about there was a question that came in. Do you run the guys out against Tampa or do you throw some curveball at them? And we were on the side of just doing something completely random. And nothing is more random than a first line of Tavares, Bunting, Yarncroke, followed by O'Reilly, Knies, Nylander, Achari, and Kerfoot, and then Kampf, Aston Reese, and Connor Timmins on right wing, McCabe and Liljegren, Brody Hall, Riley Shen, and Joseph Wall in net. So this is exactly as predicted. They just went, you guys are hurt. Have fun playing whatever the hell we put out because you're not going to know what we're doing next week.
Yeah, second half on a back-to-back as well on this road trip. And damn, you immediately get a little disappointed not seeing your superstars play, especially tonight. There was a kid in the crowd with a sign saying, "I came from Toronto to see my heroes 34 and 16. Just want to let y'all know they actually found the kid, and that kid will be meeting Matthews and Marner after the game. So currently right now, probably they're having a big chat. So that's awesome. I'm sure
he already met them, and it was 5 awesome seconds. And they gave him something, and that was it. MLSE is notorious for not giving access, but good for them. But MLSE controlling access to the players.
Okay.
But good for them for hunting the kid down and making sure that this happened. That's a really nice gesture.
Yeah, definitely.
Because things like that, the kids will remember forever. I mean, he made a sign that came all the way down. That's awesome.
And another thing about this Florida game, though, Matthews scoring his 299th goal, tying Rick Vive, number 5, all-time in goals in the Leafs franchise, scoring number 40th of the year. I thought this guy is losing it, right? I thought everyone's saying he's injured, that something's wrong, da-da-da-da-da. He's still scoring 40, guys.
My favorite was there was a graphic that came out that was some milestones were hit. Matthews hit 40 goals. There were 2 players that hit 100 points, and Sid hit 1,500 all time. And everybody was ragging on the fact that Matthews hitting 40 was on this because 2 players hitting 100 points and somebody hitting 1,500 on their career are, one of these things is not like the other, basically. 40 goals is nothing to be boasting about. But the point is that he hit 40 for the 4th consecutive season and 5th of his 7 years in the league.
Yeah.
So that's why it's significant, is that he it's not just 40 goals, it's 40 for the 4th time in a row. So you know what? Suck it.
Yeah. 25 years old, and we have to remember that Matthews was not eligible to play in the NHL when he was 18 because he has a late birthday. So he went to Europe, came back, and that's another year off, right? So, man, we're just lucky. I just got to say, we've said it so many times. We're witnessing history before our eyes. Mitch Marner gets his 99th point as an assist on that goal. And damn, I just got to applaud Alex Lyon as well. This kid has a bright future. The only thing that seemed to beat him was just the tip, because this was a tip by Matthews on a huge Marner shot. Oh my God, this kid, man! The shots from Marner this year just improving. Both of these guys are improving. Okay, Matthews 200-foot game, Marner his shot, his defensive play. I mean, it's never really been down, but Johnny T in this overtime. Oh, I'm so glad.
I mean, whenever things start cycling around in front of the Leafs net in overtime, you're like, okay, this is going to be over any second now. So when it gets flipped around and goes the other way, it's just such a breath of fresh air, and it makes you hopeful for better things, knock on wood, in the playoffs, Just being able to take situations that would normally go one way and go, oh shit, we won that one.
Yeah, exactly. And the whole narrative before the season started that John Tavares is washed and he's getting old, he's slow, yada yada. He had a 2-minute 26 second shift and decides to go and score this goal, literally running off of fumes because the Leafs were getting hemmed into their own zone, literally standing in their triangle, waiting for a clear, waiting for someone to screw up, and Tkachuk is tired. The Panthers are tired. Riley finally gets the clear. I have no idea how Tavares was able to catch up to this puck and get the backhand off, especially against Lyon, who has been clearly telling us, just the tip, guys. So then after the game, he's just not that you're just trying to save energy, but you're trying to be smart and calculated. And this is so clear, the maturity of this team now, when you watch that overtime and, you would think the Leafs are getting shit on. No, they're waiting for that perfect moment and not misusing their energy as they've done previously this season or during the season, right? In OT, give it up on a stupid pass or, Something
Also-
that makes you want to rip your hair out.
Also, with that, John Tavares, that was his 9th game-winning goal of the season, which puts him tied for 4th in the league behind Pasta, Draisaitl, and McDavid, who have 12 and 11 and 11. And Austin Matthews has 8 right behind him. So
Nice.
that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. And
Even
then
though JT's tied with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people in 4th place. But that's okay.
yeah, man. Oh, what a game. It was just solid. And obviously we're waiting for the playoff preview, the dress rehearsal of tonight, and seeing how Matthew Knies will fend him for himself on this first line here, because immediately online, people are like, don't waste him away in this bottom 6. Put him in the top 6. Get him right in there, right? And I gotta say, tonight was way better. Last night, obvious mistakes. That is a given. Keith said the same thing. You want those mistakes so you learn. But tonight, getting his first apple, we thought it was a goal. He thought it was in and out. Ryan O'Reilly tapping that in. Beauty.
And the first point for Matthew Knies.
Very nice. Yes. And
I'm going to get
another
so tired
ATO.
of Knies
I know.
puns in like a week.
Yeah, exactly. But Leafs going 11-7 again. Like you said, this lineup just all over the place here. But I gotta applaud Marty on this tweet, TML fan in Van, saying Tampa lost to a team who was sitting the current Hart Trophy winner, the best right wing in hockey, and a former Norris Trophy winner, and who was playing a defender on the 4th line as a forward.
And had their 3rd string goalie in net.
Yeah. So we
Meanwhile, on the Tampa side, we had Point, Kucherov, Hagel, Nick Paul, Kaloran, Stamkos, Sorelli, Colton, Asimont. How do you say that name?
they were saying it like Anisimov, like
Asimont?
You're asking
Anyway.
the wrong person.
Yeah. And then the classic Belmar, Perry, Maroon. Hedman, Sergachev, Radish, Cole, Chernak. I don't know who this Perbix guy is. And Vasilevsky in net. Like, what? Am I missing something other than, the injuries that they've got? That's like a lot of their lineup.
We are blessed to get Callie Yarncroke returning after 2 games, and then Connor Timbits fucking around playing right wing for the first time. Keith literally saying, have fun out there.
Oh, yeah. And everybody's saying they should put Morgan Riley on the wing instead of Connor Timmins. I'm not going to have Morgan Riley get hurt because he went up against Tampa in a corner trying to get a puck. And
Fair.
who Sergachev or somebody decides, oh, this would be a good opportunity to break Morgan Riley so he's not in the first round. There's a difference between getting hit in the corner going for the puck when you're a defenseman by a forward most of the time than going to try to get something and getting hit by a defender, because their entire purpose is to make you not score, whereas they're focusing on scoring. So it's like, no, I don't need Riley getting hurt in a game against Tampa before the playoffs playing forward. So I'm glad Timbits got there. We can afford to have defensemen hurt. He is literally it's like the Clone Wars. He's like a clone of Gustafsson and Riley, but lesser. So yeah, we can throw our offensive defenseman up in the right wing.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Way to stick it to them, right? Way to hold the game down. Tampa pulling their goalie with 3 minutes left in the period, and huge blocks from Brody, huge blocks from everything. Everyone. It was a total team effort on this last couple minutes there. And I'm also glad that William Nylander finally scoring after how many games? Well, it seems like forever, right? He could have scored 3 or 4 games ago, but I mean, just the second gear he's been on lately, and people kind of complaining about him recently. We want to see him hit 40. Got his 39th tonight. He could hit 40 next game.
He could, and Marner could hit 100. There's a lot of things that are within reach in his what is it? One more game?
Yeah, one more game
against the Rangers. So we'll see. It would be nice, Willie scores, assisted by Marner, and there we go. Dunzo.
There was a list.
I don't know if they'll play. That's the thing.
True. Yeah. But there was a list of milestones. Someone tweeted out. I think it was Leaf Updates. Hoping to see by the end of the regular season. So we've already checked off Yarncroke hitting 20 goals, Matthews hitting 40 goals, Knies getting his first point. Now it's possible for Bunting to get 50 plus points, Nylander to get 40 plus goals, and Marner 100 points. So I think that's a pretty good roundup for the end of the season, especially, Yarncroke coming in from Seattle and Calgary last year and not even scoring one goal with Calgary. All of his goals, the 12 goals, came from Seattle. And way to be a Leaf on this top six now.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm just looking to this Rangers game and saying, sorry, because now that I'm thinking about it because of these numbers that are within reach, like as much as I'd like to see them, I guess the question is, do you value seeing these guys hit these numbers more than you want them to just be rested? Like, I don't know. It's a pretty long break between the last game and the first game of the playoffs, so I'm not as concerned, considering some of them have had some games off here and there. But I don't know. For the sake of the numbers, I would put those guys in, but still rest Austin.
Yeah. It's funny. Keefe was asked that today in media interview, and he just straight up said, in my mind, you round up when it comes to Marner hitting 100 points. He's already considered a 100-point guy.
True.
I was wondering, though, is that how it works? Like, let's say Marner always flirted with 97, 98, 99. Like,
I think they're talking about the one that they're contesting because he should have had that assist on Matthews' goal the other night.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And they're still going to the league about it. They're probably waiting to hear back, and that one's under review still, because if that gets counted as an assist, then he's at 100 points. So I think that's what they're implying, is that, like, in their minds, that one's going to be called an assist, so he's already at 100. It's just a matter of the paperwork.
Oh, I see. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, did you see that one? I don't know if you caught that game. That was the one that Justin and I just did.
No, so I missed a bunch of it, unfortunately.
So what happened was Marner was at about center ice, and he flips the puck, kind of like a go-ahead pass for Matthews, who's skating up towards it, and like it's like a saucer pass, and it's still in the air, and it kind of lands and hits. Who are they playing? I don't remember now.
Was it
Why can't
Montreal?
I remember? Yeah, the Montreal game. It hit, I think it was Matheson's skate. It deflects off his skate and then goes to Matthews, who then scores. So in what Bean said was, if that was a delayed penalty, that wouldn't have been considered possession and the whistle would not have been blown. So why would that be considered a change of possession and nullify an assist? Like, it should still be an assist.
I see.
Because it only went off of some guy's skate and then directly to Matthews. Like, he was going to get it anyway. The Montreal guys just kind of stopped it and Matthews grabbed it. So it's like it was never in their possession.
Oh.
So technically, Marner's at 100.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. I hope he does get it, though, on the board in next game, of course. Obviously, winning matters more than these numerics. Tonight, Ryan O'Reilly got his 700th career point off the Nylander power play goal. These things add up regardless, right? So either way, we'll see it if everything goes well. And yeah, man, tonight, though, Luke Shin, Pat Maroon got into it, along with all of these other brawls and craziness that came out. Even Michael Bunting having his first NHL fight. Guess against who? Or did you see that?
No, I didn't. I saw the Maroon one though. No, who did he fight?
Corey Perry.
Oh, let's go. Let's go, buddy. That's going to be such a fun matchup, man. Like, there's going to be so many fights.
I'm scared injury-wise, man. Like, just, you got to watch this replay. I posted it in our Discord. Bunting is just going through the neutral zone, cutting towards his own bench, and Corey Perry just comes out of nowhere and shoves him straight down, completely off guard. Could have seriously injured him because he didn't see him coming.
Of course.
Bunting goes and challenges him, as he should. And tonight, the refs clearly had the magnifying glass on Bunting once again, because there was another time when 3 guys were on top of our captain, John Tavares, and Bunting is the only one trying to be the savior, and he's the only one who gets the call as well, even though Belmar's arm is wrapped around Johnny's neck.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So this series is going to be like that, 100%.
I mean, at least it's a taste of what it's going to be like, as far as the physicality goes, and not getting calls.
Killorn breaking his stick across Brody's back in the first period. Just wildness. And Achari, Leafs couldn't have a full power play opportunity. I'm so surprised. Well, not surprised. I'm glad they scored on 2 out of 6 opportunities, whereas the Lightning 0 for 8.
Yeah.
Damn.
I was not expecting to see the goaltending numbers that I saw tonight. Vasilevsky rocking an 8-something, and Joseph Woll coming out with over 40 saves. That's what you want to see. That's how they're shook. They are not on their game. Yeah, they should have run away with this. On paper, the Lightning should have run away with this game.
8:33 for Vasilevsky and Joseph Woll.
Oh, the Winnipeg Jets just clinched the playoff spot.
Oh.
With a 3-1 win over the Minnesota Wild.
I needed that win flurry. But yeah, it was nice. There was another point in this game as well where Pat Maroon scores and is the difference maker for the Tampa Bay Lightning, making it 3-2, but it gets overturned because Corey Perry's ass is in the blue paint and interfering with Joseph Woll, which all of the commentators were shocked. They're like, that's not interfering. And then you see the first replay, they're like, oh, okay, yeah.
It's always controversial, man. There was the one that got called back in the Montreal game that Justin and I touched on, where it was that Ryan O'Reilly was in the paint, but he got knocked down by a Montreal defender. So sucks to suck.
Sucks to suck, honestly. And I was really hoping for Luke Shin to get his Gordie Howe hat trick there with a goal, a fight, just missing the assist. But
so close.
So close. So happy to have him on our side this time. And yeah, what a game, man.
All right, let's do questions. Then I got a trivia question for you. So okay. I got one here from SC Morgan. Knies in playoff lineup to start series or midway through?
I love that he's immediately being counted in. So, excuse me. This is hard because I wouldn't count him in off the bat. The panel on TSN tonight, they all wanted him in. The playoffs are so tight that one mistake will cost you the game, especially against Tampa. And if the refs are whoever they're choosing that night, I don't know. I don't want it to be his fault.
See, I'm torn between that and I don't want to be like the Canadians with Cole Caulfield, where they, keep saying, no, not now, not now. And then they finally put him in and it's like, oh, we should have done this 7 games ago. If the Leafs they put him in and God forbid, say they're down 3-1 and they bring Knies in and, it's a difference maker in that game, but not enough for them to actually win the game. It's that would suck. Right. So I think you gotta, just because it's such a mystery box, I say you start with him. And if it doesn't work, then switch it up. But I'd rather them do that in game 1 than in, have him come in game 4 when everything is a little more on the line.
Yeah, I feel I agree with Cal on our Discord. I think he's in when there's injury. So obviously the series is going to be brutal. He's probably the next guy up because we still have Sam Lafferty, who sat the last couple of games that we can't really count out. I don't know. I really like his chemistry with Achari and Zach Aston Reese, or even Kampf, depending on how the lines are that night. His speed. The thing that Matthew Knies is really skilled at is the strength on his stick and getting into corners and, trying to pickpocket people. Obviously he has a shot, and we saw that tonight. We thought it went in, but Brian O'Reilly got the tap in. I don't know. Personally, I wouldn't want to put it all on this guy. So I would wait till injury.
Okay, fair enough. Next one, Southpaw Cal, fun guy. Which D isn't playing in game 1? TJ Brody, McCabe, Morgan, Gio.
So who isn't playing in game 1?
I see what he means here. So which D isn't playing in game 1? Okay, so the first pair would be Brody, McCabe. Second pair would be Riley and who, and then Gio and who. So I would go Brody, McCabe, Riley, Shen, Gio, Hall. Honestly.
Agreed. Yeah. Who doesn't play?
Lilligren.
Timmins. And Lily. Depends if they go 11 and 7.
Yeah, if you're going 7, then Lilligren. Or there's... if Gustafson's hurt. Who else is there? I'm forgetting somebody. There's got to be somebody else that we're forgetting.
For 9, yeah, there's Gus, Shin, Timmins, Hall.
Anyway, that's who I would do.
Yeah, I agree with that. Morgan, Shin, Gio, Hall. Yeah.
All right. Chella, what is it? Chella Dwella? Chella Dwella 77, Steve.
Cella Dwella.
Cella Dwella. This has been the last episode of Leafs Late Night. I'm retiring from podcasting because I cannot fucking read, apparently. Cella Dwella. I was thinking like cello,
Steve at Cella Dwella 77.
Yeah, sorry, Steve. Hasn't Wall played himself into the backup role for the playoffs? Yeah, I would put Wall in before a just back from injury Matt Murray. Like, if Matt Murray wants to be old Matt Murray and come back in like round 3 when everybody else is hurt and stand on his head, great. I don't feel comfortable bringing him back in right now.
Me either. And excuse me, it was confirmed that Matt Murray has a concussion all week. It's been head injury. What
did I tell you? Because there's no other fucking head injury than a concussion.
Yeah, exactly. So concussion confirmed. It's going to be longer than we expect. And Joseph Wall, yeah, you're absolutely right. He's won the crease. He's won 1B for now. Hope and pray Matt Murray gets healthy soon. Obviously, you want him in for some games. But yeah, you also don't want Tampa to run him too early, prematurely,
Yeah, like one weird hit and he's down, and then all of a sudden Sammy's got to play a game that he wasn't expecting to, and we can't keep doing that to him.
Yeah.
So last one here, Benito the Basset Hound, more of a comment. Who would have thought the Leafs pull that off? Second half of back-to-back, no Marner, no Matthews or Gio, and a defenseman playing wing. Tampa being Tampa, but looked to be getting frustrated they couldn't intimidate our boys. Love to see it. Great warm-up for next week. I think that's a great point, that they managed to hold their own, basically trolling Tampa, like for all intents and purposes, just putting out a lineup that doesn't make sense, to be like, okay, well, we don't care about this game. You guys have something to prove. We're okay. I think it was a really good show of confidence.
Yeah, 100%. Joseph Wall getting the 3rd star with 46 saves against Tampa. Oof. Man, if this is a dress rehearsal, put him in. Nylander activating with 1 goal and 2 assists tonight. Love to see that all day long. And Calle Jarnkrok adding to his goal count. We're ready.
We're ready.
1 week yesterday, playoff start.
Oh, that's insane.
Isn't it? I can't believe it. Time has flown by.
So the schedule is apparently going to depend on the play-in schedule for the Raptors. They're in the play-in tournament. So if they make it, it's going to get weird. I think I said that already.
Did you see that Mark Giordano is the Leafs nominee for the Bill Masterton Memorial Trophy for the player who best exemplifies the qualities of perseverance, sportsmanship, and dedication to hockey? Check, check, check. Hell yes.
100% agree with that. Speaking of Mark Giordano, though he is the oldest player in the league this year at 39 years old, he did not hit 50 points. However, 11 players that are over 35 or over, hit 50 points this year. Can you name them?
Current? Yeah, this year. Wow. Bergeron is
correct. With 57 points at 37 years old.
Okay, I gotta really think about this because this is league wide. 35 plus. This is interesting. You're putting me on the spot.
Good year for the old guys.
Yeah, clearly a lot of goal scorers this year too. But is Krejci on there?
Krejci is on there. 36 years old, 56 points.
Now Marchand, I don't think he's 35 plus yet. No,
he's 34.
There, yeah. So he's not on that list. Another player that immediately came to mind because old. I was thinking Craig Anderson, but no, goalie. Come on.
There's a couple really obvious ones you're missing.
Yeah, missing.
Yeah.
Oh man, Spez is gone, of course. Giroux. Claude Giroux,
yeah. 35 years old, 78 points.
Who else?
Oh my God, Steph.
Yeah, I'm literally drawing a blank right now. No. Oh my God.
Legends of the league.
How old is Erik Karlsson? Is he 35 plus?
No, he's 32.
No. Yeah, he's born in 90, isn't he? You're killing me. I don't know. You're embarrassing me right now.
They came into the league the same year, drafted a year apart, both play in the Metro.
Everyone's screaming.
Been racing each other, being compared to one another.
Oh, Sidney Crosby and Alex Ovechkin.
Jesus,
of course.
there you go.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, so you've got
Chris
2,
Letang.
3.
No, he didn't hit 50.
No, he's got 39.
How could I forget about the Pens?
You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left. See how many you can get, and then I'll give them. You've got like another minute, and I'll cut you off.
Okay. Malkin.
Malkin is correct. 5 more.
I don't think Jeff Carter got over 50 points this year.
Jeff Carter is at 29 points this year.
Yeah, no, he's been. I feel like there's another Pen. Dumoulin did not get over 50 points.
There is 1 more in the East and 4 in the West.
Kopitar, Anze Kopitar, is he 35
Anze
yet?
Kopitar is 35 years old with 72 points.
Okay.
4 more.
Drew Doughty, is he 35 yet?
Drew Doughty, where is he on here? Drew Doughty is 33 and has exactly 50 points.
Okay. Man. Oh,
you're close.
Getzlav.
No,
he didn't get 50.
Wait, Getzlav. Does he even play
he retired?
anymore?
Or Shattenkirk. Is he 35 plus yet?
No. Oh my God. Okay, so defenseman in the Metro.
Brent Burns.
Brent Burns is correct at 37 years old at 58 points.
Yes.
Now think. You've got 3 left. They're all in the West. I don't want to give them away. I don't want to give you hints on this, but
50 plus points.
One of them is the second oldest guy in the league.
Is it a Stahl brother? No. What am I thinking? I don't know. I give up.
Okay, so the last 3 that you did not get are Joe Pavelski.
Oh my God. Forgot
38 years old, 76
Dallas.
points. Blake Wheeler at 36 years old has got 55 points. And Matt Zuccarello, who is 35 and has 67 points. So he did pretty well.
I didn't realize he was that old, Matt Zuccarello. I thought he would have been maybe around 32, 33-ish.
I know. He's one of those guys, like, I would have thought that Carlson is older than him just because of, how much you hear about them. Seems like they've been around forever, but Zuccarello,
Blake
again,
Wheeler.
just always been here.
I knew that. Blake Wheeler, but he's been erased from my memory recently because he's been a fantasy fail for me, and I'm like,
hey, he
fuck
broke 50 points.
Yeah. He should on his line.
Yeah. Speaking of Zuccarello, did you see Joel Eriksson Ek went down?
I did not.
So I think he took a shot off the back of his heel, and apparently it's like a really bad like Achilles tendon injury. Like he's not going to be back for a while. So he's like right before the playoffs in a basically pointless game for Minnesota. They lose Joel Eriksson Ek. So yeah, not good.
Oh man.
Oh, I saw Maroon went to the dressing room, so obviously he came back.
He came back and scored a goal, which got called back.
He fucking dove. I saw clips. I didn't actually get to watch the game.
Yeah, another dirty play too that I forgot to mention. Kucherov sticking his skate backward to purposely trip Brody, and Brody goes flying, and Kucherov is playing it off as if he were diving. But if you look at the replay, he purposely like lunges back to trip him. Like, oh my God.
Oh Lord.
Annoying. It's just annoying. Yeah.
So just before we sign off here, because it's been kind of the topic of the week, I want to run through the injuries on every team because this is nutty. So just of playoff teams. So Nick Foligno and Derek Faubourg are technically on injury reserve for the Bruins. David Krejci is listed as out.
Hall. Or no?
No.
Did he magically become healthy?
He's not listed on here. Let me check a different source. No, I think he's off.
Oh. Perfect timing.
Of course, right? And then Krejci's out, but I think it just says out, so I think he's resting. Mark also day to day. Hurricanes are obviously down Andrei Svechnikov and Andrei Kasha. I forgot Kasha went down like beginning of the season. He barely played. Oh, January 19th. Yeah, because he came back and got hurt again. Colorado is down. Cale Makar won't be ready for the start of the playoffs. Down also Arturi Lehkonen, Josh Manson, and Darren Helm. And Gabriel Landeskog, I think. Then Dallas is down Marchment and some other guy. Marchment's day-to-day now, though. What else we got? Cody Ceci and Ryan Murray, both out for the Oilers. Panthers are down Spencer Knight and Sam Bennett. Kings are down Gabriel Velarde, Alex Edler, and Kevin Fiala. Sundqvist, Shaw, Novak, and now Eriksson Ek down for the Wild. Oh, man. Nashville is down like their entire team.
Yossi, Duchesne.
Yeah. Forsberg, Johansson, Borowecki, Lauzon, Carrier, Smith. The whole team's injured.
Everyone.
Curtis Lazar and Michael McLeod both hurt on the Devils. Islanders are down Barzal, Romanov, and Wallstrom. Like, there is not a single team that is headed into the playoffs with a fully healthy team.
They will be healthy next week.
A bunch of them magically yeah, that's the thing. I would love to compare this today to what it's going to look like next week to see how many of these guys are magically healthy again.
Take some screenshots and see their game one rosters.
Yeah, the
But-
Leafs one's funny. Eric Gustafson, Sam Lafferty, Mark Giordano, Mitch Marner, Austin Matthews, Ilya Samsonov, Matt Murray, Bobby McCann.
Well, you know, I am a woman of my word, and we did have a bet about the
hell yeah.
Generals and Ottawa 67s in their series. Unfortunately, my Oshawa Gens lost the series 3-1. Womp, womp, womp. So I have to activate this legal document I got in the mail from our friend Luke Man. He
Oh my
sent
God,
me
what is
this
this?
Australian citizenship with my name on
Oh
it.
my Lord.
And on the back it says, if you eat me, this is a valid legal document.
That is amazing. That is so cool.
So this is dated September 20th, 2022. So I'm so sorry, Luke, man. It's been a long time. We've been meaning to do this, but I lost my bet.
Vege-might expire. Once open, can be stored in the cupboard or pantry right up until the best before our date. How long does it... How do you know if it's gone bad? What's the date on that?
This one is expired.
It says things don't suddenly go bad. It says Vegemite is basically good forever. The worst thing that can happen is it can get damp.
Oh my
from
God, this smells
humidity.
like shit. Oh my God, this smells so bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it says there's too much salt in it to go bad.
Oh,
Unless it's
my
like
God.
stored improperly, but that's in a little sealed thing. You're fine.
Yeah, it's like a little freaking to-go like butter thing, like a jam pack. And I can't
Like you
wait
used
to
to
be...
get at Tim's.
Well, now I'm going to be an official Aussie eating this. And... Oh my God. Okay,
Oh.
I'm not a picky person. So this is really bad.
I know what that smells like, and I don't envy you. What are you eating it on?
I'm eating it straight up.
Oh, what are you doing? Get a cracker or something.
I'm just taking one for the team here. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
Tell me when to start
like,
the drum roll.
It smells like burnt soya sauce. Like
Do you know what it is?
yeasty shit. I don't know.
So basically,
Oh my God.
off the top of my head, history lesson, it is a byproduct of making beer. Basically, it's made of a byproduct of making beer. So they basically needed to do something with all of this leftover yeast and barley and stuff. So somebody came up with this
So they put it
spread.
into this mushy black shit.
Yeah, somebody figured out how to make it into an edible spread that is popular both in Australia and in Britain as Marmite and Vegemite. They're basically the same thing. All right, here we go.
Oh my God. Not the whole thing, okay?
No, just do it.
Oh, instant regret.
No way.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Ew,
Right
I was not
away.
expecting that.
That's why I said put it on something. Like, Luke Man told me to put a thin layer on a piece of toast. What are you... Oh. I respect the commitment to the craft.
Okay. I live by my word, okay? And, oh my God, never again. I'm so sorry, Aussies. You choose. This is a choice. This is a choice in your life. You buy this. Oh my God.
That complicates fucking things.
Fingers. Oh. And I only have water with me. I need I need beer. I need something to wash this down.
Oh, my Lord.
Okay.
Oh, bravo. Good for you.
Thanks. Fuck you, Oshawa Generals.
Well done. So to close us off here, since you didn't get to see this last episode, this is courtesy of National Beanographic himself. Sent me this one.
Oh my God. That's how my mouth feels.
Oh man, thank you so much for listening. Subscribe and click that bell, and all those things. Follow us on all the platforms, and If you're not already in the Discord, it's in the description for this podcast, and the video's up on Inside the Rink's YouTube channel, which I will have linked on our Transistor website. All that stuff, the tings. Anything you want to add?
Rugrats. Go Leafs go. And
tacos and sushi,
I don't know.
tacos
I'm an
and
Aussie
sushi,
now.
tacos and sushi, and antidepressant.
Yes.
And that. Thanks, guys.
It's like 50
Follow
times
us
that
on
one.
Twitter and
I don't know what's
Instagram
going
at
on with
Leafs
that.
Late Night, your night of post-game podcast. Available after every game on YouTube, Spotify,
Oh my
Apple
God.
Podcasts, Audible, and more.
Sorry.
Hi, Thornton Campbell.